So hey, it's me, the man after God's own heart.
Let me talk to you.
This is going to be slightly different from the normal content that I put out, but one of the reasons I'm putting this out is because I think there's a lot that can be gained from Cody Rhodes finishing his story. Now, first and foremost, I want you guys to understand that I am a very devout Roman Reigns fan. You know, I've been following his career since the days of, the big dog, up, until the tribal chief and like all of his, fans, we were happy to see the conversion because we know the time, the effort, the energy that he put in, to really sharpen his character and hone it to the tribal chief, right? And he carried the company during the darkest era, literally, that the company has ever had. And almost single handedly, a lot of people may disagree, but kept WWE interesting even through what people, consider the PG era. He kept it afloat long enough to become everything that it is becoming and has become. But that's not what this is about. I just want you guys to know that I am unbiased in my assessment of it being very inspirational with Cody Rhodes finishing the story. Now, this is not what you guys may think it is. This is not me just talking about Cody Rhodes finishing the story from a wrestling fan perspective. This is me talking about him finishing the story more so from a spiritual perspective, but an inspirational perspective for those that can't see where I'm going with this spiritually. So here we have a guy that in his youth, his early days with the WWE, he, like many of us in our youth, was trying to find himself. He went through many characters. I believe he was called Dashing Cody Rhodes at one point, and I remember he had the reconstructive face piece on at one point, and he just went through many different characters trying to find himself. He even became a literal clown. And we all go through our clown stages as well, in our youth. So if you guys know some clowns out there, don't be quick to judge. That clown may just become the next Cody Rhodes. What I'm saying is, so he felt like, he wasn't getting the respect that he deserved from, the company where he had started, the company where he found his roots, so to speak. So he actually, after that, went through his rebellious stage, right? We've all been through that as well. And he, co-founded a rival company and then went up against, where he found his roots. He went up against his foundation, right? A lot of times we go through those rebellious stages where we just feel like that where we initially found our roots, we are going through a stage where we can't comprehend the moves that they're making, and so we decide to branch off on our own. Maybe I'm speaking about parents, but I'm also speaking about maybe our religious organization, God Himself. A lot of times we can't comprehend the moves that, you know, are being made. We don't get the process. And so we venture out and even can become enemies, so to speak, because we just feel like the way it's been done is not the way it should be done. And maybe sometimes, as far as, earthly organizations, the church, parental figures, authority figures, maybe we are done wrong, unintentionally. But regardless, we step out and we try to find our way, only to discover sometimes that, maybe they didn't have it all the way right, but it's a lot better than where I went. You know what I mean? I want you guys to understand too that although we're fans, we don't want to be tribalistic, pun intended. When I say tribalistic, what I'm saying is you don't want to be so wrapped up in your fandom that you only think and believe how you think you're supposed to think and believe due to your specific tribe. We want to always maintain, our character. We want to always have our own minds, okay? So that's what this is about. But try to keep it less than 10 minutes. So I got to hurry up. So he found his way back to the WWE, and he understood, rightfully so, that he had to start from the bottom. And when you find your way back to, God, you find your way back to, your parents, whatever organization, where you laid your roots. You find your way back there, and you should understand that because of how you left, you should start from the bottom, and you should work your way, back up. You have to earn the respect again. You have to earn the trust again. We all get that, and he was willing to do that. He went through a very difficult, trying year. He fought through injuries. He fought some of the toughest opponents and the brightest superstars, like Seth Rollins, right? Only to find himself in murky waters when everyone felt like he had, worked his way back to the top, earned the right to be considered the face of the company, and it seemed like he dropped the ball because the process was not as easy as he thought it was going to be, And I think about that in life as, sometimes we think that the process has been tough enough, no pun intended, but no, where God has us going, who he has us to become, requires a lot more out of us. And he was not ready, I'm sure he would tell you the same thing, to carry the company, right? And so he was defeated. He didn't consider, solo. And that's something that if he was ready to be the face, the leader of the company, he should have considered solo. So to hurry up and get this, concluded, he had to go through another whole tough year, right? He got into a brawl with Brock Lesnar. Everyone wanted him to take a lesser title. It was considered, right? Seth did a lot to elevate it, but most people still consider a lesser title. To conclude this, we all know he eventually defeated the tribal chief and he finished the story. Allow God to take you where it's going to take you and finish your story. Y'all be blessed.